In today's video, we are going to develop a comparison between two refrigerant gases. We're talking about R22 and R32 refrigerant. Let's start by saying that both R22 and R32 are internally composed of a single component, with no internal presence of gas mixtures, allowing both to be loaded in both liquid and gaseous phases. The main drawback of R22 is that it damages the ozone layer, which is why it is affected by environmental restrictions. Additionally, R22 has a global warming potential, GWP, of 1760, whereas R32 does not damage the ozone layer and has a GWP of 675. R32 is primarily used in air conditioning, while R22 is used in freezing, refrigeration, and air conditioning. Another significant difference between the two gases is their compatibility with different types of oil. R22 is compatible with mineral oil and alkyl benzene, but not with POE oil, whereas R32 is compatible and used with POE oil. R32 is a substitute refrigerant for air conditioning, only suitable for new equipment. This means that R22 should not be replaced by R32 in existing equipment. R22 is non-toxic and non-flammable, with classifications A1 and L1, whereas R32 is a non-toxic gas with a slight flammability, classified as A2L. The amount of R32 required for air conditioning is much lower, around 60%, compared to that of R22. The temperature of R32 at the compressor outlet is much higher than that of R22, making it ideal for applications with low compression ratios, such as air conditioning. Due to the thermodynamic properties of R32, it consumes less electricity compared to R22. Now, let's take a look at the working pressures of both R22 and R32.
We can say that it is a refrigerant that handles medium pressures. Let's start analyzing the most used pressures. 1. Low temperature system, freezing to minus 20.5 degrees Celsius, approximately minus 5 degrees Fahrenheit. If we look in the table to reach this temperature in the evaporator, we need that when the equipment is turned on, it marks a pressure on the low manometer of approximately 20.1 psi. This value is equivalent to 1.3 bars. 2. Average temperature system, freezing to minus 9.4 degrees Celsius, about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. If we look in the table to reach this temperature in the evaporator, we need that when the equipment is turned on, it marks a pressure on the low manometer of approximately 37.8 psi. This value is equivalent to 2.5 bars. 3. High temperature system, refrigeration without freezing or air conditioning equipment. In this case, we are going to have a temperature of 4.4 degrees Celsius, approximately 40 degrees Fahrenheit. If we look in the table to reach this temperature in the evaporator, we need that when the equipment is turned on, it marks a pressure on the low manometer of approximately 68.5 psi. This value is equivalent to 4.6 bars. 4. Now we are going to look for the high blunt pressure in the table. For this, we are going to take as an example an external environmental temperature of 30 degrees Celsius. We increase this value by 10 degrees Celsius and look in the table for a pressure value for approximately 40 degrees Celsius. Thus we have in the table a pressure of approximately 211 psi. This value is equivalent to 14 bar. 5. Another pressure value that is usually important is the pressure of the equipment when it is turned off. In this case, for the same room temperature, we look directly in the table for an approximate value of 30 degrees Celsius and we obtain a pressure value of about 156 psi. For an evaporator temperature of 5 degrees C, the pressure gauge on an R32 air conditioner should read about 129 psi. The high pressure of an air conditioner that works with R32 for an outdoor ambient temperature of 30 degrees Celsius should mark close to 350 psi.
And there you have it. The battle between the R32 and R410 comes to an end. Now it is your turn to decide which of these refrigerant gases best suits your needs. Leave us your comments and subscribe to our channel.